My friend has asked me to give her boys' room a complete makeover by transforming their boring bedroom into a teenage boy's dream game room. But giving them their own individual space is going to be challenging in such a small space, so I will need to get creative within the layout by using several multifunctional furniture pieces to pull the design together. We started with a $1,500 budget, but after selling a few larger items, we increased our budget to $2,725. So come join me as I continue this boys' room makeover and attempt to check all their boxes and blow these boys' expectations out of the park. It's the end of day 4 and we've just finished up the last of the painting on the panels and are midway through building the furniture pieces. We did incorporate a few additional pieces which increased our overall cost as well as going over budget in a few areas. We sold the dresser to have more available space in the room because they had a ton of unused space in their closet. So I decided to reconfigure and organize the closet and make room for a taller dresser and storage tub for shoes. This frees up a lot of space for our design. Sometimes I like to play with the designs on a much smaller scale to test out the design. So I created a 3D render out of cookie. I've always enjoyed creating things with my own 2 hands. I love the feeling of accomplishment after creating a project and feeling like, wow, I made that. I've learned to be creative with many different mediums, but for the last 20 years, my medium of choice has been icing in all its forms. My canvas is usually a cake, but sometimes it's a cookie. I love to be challenged and to test my abilities, so while I was creating mood boards for my upcoming projects, I was thinking about how designers oftentimes create virtual renders for clients to see ahead of time. Then I thought, hey, I should do that. I knew a cake would be a rather large project, so a cookie seemed a perfect fit for this one. While I've never really tried to recreate a room with a cookie, this is actually the way most of my cake and cookie designs start. Every order is custom and must be scaled to the right size to feed the correct number of people. In this case, I don't need to feed anyone, but I do want to try and make it to the correct dimensions. So I needed to find a simple way to make a template. Turns out it's pretty easy. I just used graph paper and made a map of my room dimensions. 1 foot simply equaled 1 square. I already had the dimensions of each furniture piece, so it was a fairly straightforward process. So when my friend asked me to make over her house room by room, I was eager to immediately begin making mood boards and applying my skill set to yet another medium. We were making great progress on assembling all of the furniture, so we made it our goal to finish everything by the end of the day. So Michael got to work on the TV stand while I was assembling some of the smaller decor items. We upgraded the TV to a much larger one for gaming, and then mounted it to the TV stand. Then all that was left was to move it into place. Now we just had one last bed to assemble. Once it was completed, I added the LED lights to the bottom of the bed, slid the bed back in place, moved the coffee table back to its rightful position, did a quick little tidy up of the table. Now it was time to slide that mattress in place and we were done. With all the furniture pieces in place, I was ready to hang the sconces. It was already 11:30 at night and we were tired, but I just had to finish this last task. So I began by getting my measurements and marking on the wall where I would need to attach the supports. Then I just attached the sconces to the wall with the accent screws and we were finally done for the night. It's day 5 and it's a Sunday afternoon. We only have one task to do today, and that's staining the letters for the boys' names. Once the letters are stained, they will require dry time, so we will resume the next day and enjoy the remainder of this Sunday with our families. It's the start of day 6 and I got straight to work. I began by measuring out the center of the space between the sconces, as this would also be the center of the bed. Then I started hanging the names by using my brad nailer. I found the easiest way to make sure the names were straight was to use my carpenter's square with the level. I was pretty sure the brick lines were level, but I didn't want to rely on them. Thankfully, everything ended up lining up correctly. I dare say I do dodged a bullet there because that could have gone really wrong. Attaching the names to the wall was the last task before adding the finishing touches. We wanted these beds to function as couches during the day, so it was important to have durable pillows to act as couch backs. They can easily be wiped clean and plopped back in place. Since there was no real way to match the navy on the beds, we opted to go with the silver gray fitted sheet that matched the walls and a camel faux leather on the pillows to pull in some warmth and make it feel a bit more masculine. Now that we had the room clean and dust-free again, we began to reconfigure the closet layout. There wasn't really anything wrong with the closet, it just wasn't being utilized to its full potential. Most of their clothes were stored in the dresser. So, getting rid of the dresser was a huge problem that had to be resolved immediately. I managed to find a tall replacement for the dresser that would fit perfectly in the unused space in the closet. This dresser was just under $100 on Amazon. While it did increase our overall cost, it was an extremely functional and necessary purchase. And as a bonus, they have more drawer space than they had before. We planned on adding multiple storage tubs to the top of the closet to maximize the ability to organize all their belongings. But with so much extra storage space in the dresser, we just didn't need to add them at this time. They will have the ability to change things up as the need arises. For example, at some point they may need to add floor shoe storage so they can utilize the bottom hanging rack. By keeping the design simple and utilizing some of the storage options they already had available, we left a lot of room for flexibility as the years pass. But for now, this shoe storage tub works great and keeps all their shoes off the floor, making the space look much more tidy with enough extra room to tuck other things away if needed. After 9 long days, this room makeover is finally complete, and the time has come to reveal it to 2 very eager boys. And I absolutely cannot wait to see their reaction. So you have lights under your bed. You have lights under here. And then you have lights behind your TV. And you have lights down here. So everything is lit up and everything can be changed. The colors, you have remotes for your own size. You can turn your light on now if you want so you can see it better. Yep, that's your new TV.
What?
What do you guys think?
So cool. I love it. I like the Beckett part.
So you want me to show you how your stuff works?
Sure.
Okay.